day. Thank you for creating time to be here today, and I'm assuring you you are in the right place. Our advice will be that you should be in a serene environment where you'll be able to listen to all the information that will be disseminated during this webinar series. And we hope that at the end of today's webinar, you'll be able to learn a lot and learn a lot about farm security and measures. We wish you a good stay. Happy listening. Stay tuned. Thank you, everybody.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adekun Solomon, and I'll be in charge. Let's just wait a couple of minutes for more people to be on the call. I can see that Mr. Bola Osho and Mr. Odwola Abdulmalik are already on the call. It's nice having you guys on the call. So, Dofma is an agricultural. The full meaning of the full name of Dofma is actually Dofma Integrated Agritech Services, and we are I'm sorry I had to mute my mic. I was sorry that was quite loud. So Dofma is an agricultural agency that has invested a great deal in how it engages farming activities and its stakeholders in the farming activities. We have farmlands across Ogun and Osho partnered with us that we are helping run their farming operations. We have staffs working at different farms. We recently had our farm tour for new new farmland owners that came on board our offers. We took them to our farmland. We we show them their farmlands. We show them farmlands of other people that we've been managing and we've been handling. We show them all of our operations on the farmland. For instance, we had snail on one of our farmlands, and we show them the snail orchards and the snails that are in the snail orchards. We explain to them how these things work, and it further proves to them how much of a legitimate business that we are. We're not scammers. We're not looking to collect your money and part ways and run away with it. No, that's not we are. That's not who we are. We are an organization that has integrity, and integrity is one of our core values as an organization, and that is who we are. We are an organization that is that has integrity as its core values. Everything that we do, this integrity is what guides us. It's what guides our operation, and that is why we are hosting this webinar today to tell you to give to the general audience information that they can use, information that they need to look out for, information that they can implement if they already have farmland or if they want to farm with us, things that they will have at the back of their mind and questions that they can ask to put their mind at ease as it relates to the farm security measures and implementations. We've heard about different stories and different news of Fulani herdsmen running their cattle and cows through some people's farm whereby they lose lots and lots of money. And we've heard news about fire starting in farmlands and all of that. And these and many more are one of the issues that we'll be touching today. And these are the issues that we'll be addressing today. Also, I'll also be announcing something that the organization is cooking up, something that everybody in the general audience can take advantage of later in the webinar. But right now, I'm just going to be welcoming Mr. Adedeji on the call to come and tell us about DigiCrop. Um, Good afternoon, sir. Over to you, Mr. Adedeji.
Um, Thank you very much, Mr. Solomon. I really do appreciate the kind welcome and the opening remark. Today, I'm very excited and glad to be in the midst of everyone. And before I go forward, I would just like to reiterate my name to everyone. Of course, I'm Adeniyi Shoremi, and of course, I am the head of marketing and sales Dofma. And today, I'll be honored to talk about DigiCrop. Now, of course, while I go on to talk about DigiCrop, I would like to display our social handle online so everyone can see us and also get to follow us while I talk about DigiCrop. So, DigiCrop, of course, we are more than just a product offering company because we care about the security and development of big farms like cashew farm, plantain farm, snail farm, and even the integration of this product as a farm and all to even snail farming. So what we do basically at DigiCrop is, Dofma DigiCrop, we do, as you can see on the screen, we sell farmlands, we set up farmland, we manage farmlands, we buy all harvested produce annually. And this is a big time business because, like I said, we are into perennial crops such as cashew. We are into perennial crops such as plantain as well, and even we're into snail farm business, and we are into bee. And this you know, product, product that we are offering are product that last for decades of years. And the reason why is because we want to create longevity for those who will be going to an agricultural system, and also want to create a long time, means of continuous revenue for those who will be venturing into this business. And one thing we usually, help our prospect out there to have is our brochures, our documents that gives them understanding of what they're about to go into whenever they want to go into business with us. And I'll be glad to display that on the screen for everyone to see. And as you can see on the screen right now, we have these are brochure documents. We are always glad to share this with those who are our potential clients. Like we say, we want to pride ourselves in with DigiCorp is we pride ourselves with transparency. We're always transparent with our clients because we don't want an issue where the people have to spoil our name out there because we live in a digital age where a little mistake made by any company these days can easily go out. And if you check us online right now, we have good recognition online. There's no bad comment about our business, what we offer online, and that's because we have worked so hard to maintain that. And this is our product offering. If I should open this document for you, okay, this is our farmland banking investment brochure. Now, this document carries more about what we offer. Now, what is farmland banking? Farmland banking is a simple business model where you get to buy land for a short period of time. We help you buy this land, of course, viable lands that have good zoning, and that has good prospect because not every land is good for reselling to make profit. Actually, some lands you buy them 2 3 years, the return will just be very minimal. It won't be encouraging. But we know how to source for good lands because we have been in this business for more than 5 years, right? So we know how to source for good lands to buy that even just a year you get a considerable revenue. And we have different packages. We have student pack, we have copper pack, as you can see on the screen. And this pack they are very affordable because we want everyone to be able to participate in the agricultural sector in Nigeria. We don't want it to be limited to some set of people alone. That's why we have this offer like this. As you can see, we have working class two, we have a limited pack as well. It's time they are flexible. And one good thing about what we do at Digiclub is that we offer instrumental payment, not just the regular kind that you know out there. We want a very flexible one and very considerate one for that matter. You understand? We don't disturb people that much. We tend to believe that we understand the minds of people out there. You understand? And we have been doing that actively for more than 2 years right now. When I mean, I talk about our installments payment plan. And as you can see, this is the ROI you'll be making from just 1 year. And trust me, this is a very good offer. Like most, you can't get this offer almost anywhere. Let me say that because in just 1 year, you'll be making 20 to 30% from just student pack. And how much are you paying for that? You're just
Pack,
paying,
and how much are you paying for
you're
that?
just paying
You're just
100,000
paying
for that student pack. And in a year, you'll be getting 20 to 30%
300,000 for
return
that
on
student
that
pack.
particular investment for just a year. And it's secure because you're getting your documents. Let me show you what you'll be getting actually. Like I said, we are very transparent with how we do our business with everyone. Our suspect, our clients.
Let me show you what you
Okay, so there's a part that is not showing clearly. Of course, I'll get to display it on our next document. So this is our farmland banking brochure. We have everything well explained in that document. And of course, after this call, if you're interested in knowing more
Okay,
about farmland
so
banking,
there's a part.
it's best that you reach out to me. I will drop in my number here if you have any questions. If you want to have access to this document, of course, there's a way you can have access to this document that will give you breakdown. Now, this is our snail farm investment package. We have in Ogun State, we have in Ocean State, and as you can see, it's loading. Or well, why it's slow? Of course, it has loaded. Don't mind our network here in Nigeria. so so our snail farm investment package is very flexible as well, very easy to venture into. Like I said, flexible payment plan. And one good thing that I haven't explained to anyone here is that once you're able to make 50% of your total payment, we start in good faith for you. We start your investment for you automatically. You understand? Without you making your full payments. And we'll get to even give you your documents without you even making your full payment. Because we believe that for you to have made such amount of payment, you are passionate about owning that farm. And you can see here we have a package of 850,000. And not don't just look at the money, look at what you'll be getting for just that amount you pay. Outright farmland sales, full ownership, and 3,000 max farm setup, farm management, shared water supply, shared workforce, basic insurance as well. You understand? You cannot be too cautious. And that's the main reason why we're having this webinar. Security is very important. You have to have security in your farm, and we have that on our farms as well. So this document, I won't want to take much of your time because I would like others to come on board. But this document are very detailed. They have everything you need to know. And what I'm taking you to is how to get started. Now, this is the simple. These are the steps that we have highlighted for you. Inquire and get information. This is the information stage. This is where you get to register, of course, and this is where you get to confirm, your registration, where you're serious about becoming a farmland owner with us. And this is the document I want to share with everyone. Now, you're getting this document once you come on board any of our package. Deed of assignment, provisional survey, payment and land receipt, project partnership MOU, payment schedule document, farm estate proposal, farm investment record card, farm estate clause. You see this number 7, it gives you a detailed explanation of when your farm will start and when you start making money. Everyone wants to know when they'll start making money, right? So that you can look forward to that particular period and you start getting money and even plan towards that particular period. We have a document that will share to you that will explain that in a very detailed manner to you. So like I said, we are so glad that we are given this opportunity to put this out to you. Most investment out there are not very detailed like this. I'm not looking out to spite any investment company there. But we are more than an investment company. We are not just letting your money to invest. We are turning you into farm lords. We are turning you into someone that will know more about this product. That's why we'll be educating you. We'll be doing webinars like this for our farm lords, educating you on the product that you came in for, where you just don't own the farm, but you know what is being farmed on your land. You know everything you need to know about the farm. So we are turning you into farmers gradually. That's why a non-farmer and a farmer can come aboard our package and become a family with us. So we have other document. I won't be opening them all here because I won't want to take much of your time. So if you are interested in getting to know more about this, have access to our document, please, my contact will be dropped here. Of course, where you can reach out to me, and also you could also request from our webinar channel. on WhatsApp if you're part of that group on WhatsApp. And if you're not part of it, please, the link will be dropped. You don't know what you're missing if you're not part of our webinar channel on WhatsApp. We are very cautious about the information we put out there regarding agriculture, and every information we put out there are very succinct. So thank you very much, everyone, for giving me your time. I really appreciate that. Now, let me just display our page one last time. It's all right. Thank you, everyone. Mr. Solomon, up to you, sir. Thank you.
Um, Thank you very much, Mr. Aditiji. And I believe you'll be dropping your contact in the call message, as you had said. Um, in a few moments, Mr. Olainka is going to come on board and introduce farm business to us, what the department is all about, and how our farmers or our prospective clients can take advantage of that. Mr. Olainka, please come on board and introduce in a couple of minutes. Introduce what business is, what you do, and how the general audience can take advantage of that department in the organization. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Solomon, and thank you, Mr. Adedeji, for taking us through uh, what the DigiCrop is all about. So once again, I am Olayinka Adeluga, and I'll be telling you what the farm business is all about. But before I actually do that, I want you to know, first and foremost, that agriculture is hard work. Of course, it's a lot of work, and there is a reward from it. You know, one of the things we pride ourselves with here at Dogma is that we are in the business of wealth creation, and not just for ourselves alone, but for every Dogma. We eradicate poverty and hunger, and one way to doing that is via agriculture, because we believe it has that power to actually achieve that. So the farm business unit is okay. Peradventure, you are in this webinar today. You have a farm already set up for yourself, or you want to set up a farm for yourself. Now, this is the part of the enterprise that service you. So we're actually in the business of farm setup, adventure. You have a farmland, lying fallow, and you have it in mind to actually do something on it, but you don't know how to go about it. You can always reach out to the farm business unit for a few consultations, and peradventure the setup. Peradventure, you want us to help you set up a management, or you have a management already you're having issues with that needs a bit of structuring or restructuring. Of course, we can, of course, help you with that. Of course, you want to get farmland also to farm, and you don't know where to, or you don't know how, so you're finding it difficult. Of course, you can reach out to us. We can always help you with that, of course. And we have quite a number of networks as well. You know, Dogma is over 4 years in the business, and by now we have quite a number of networks and contacts of buyers and sellers. So, for adventure, you have a product also you want to sell, or you want to buy a product you don't know where to get. You can always reach out to Dogma so that we can always link you up. And we are not fixed to just cashew and plantain alone. We do varieties of crops because we have consultants, we have agronomists that are vast in every crop that can manage. Is your rice, is your maize, potato and co, whatever crop you want to do, arable or perennial. Of course, we can help you through the process. And if at all you want to go into animal husbandry, achieve that fit also. So without wasting much of your time, that is what or who the farm business unit are, and it is just as simple as that. as a token. So we are always ready available to, of course, be at your service. So um, and that's it for that. So thank you very much for listening. Of course, I trust that you enjoy yourself and this webinar today. So try as much as possible to pay attention. I'll be leaving my contact as well also in case you need to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olainka. That is very lovely. Mr. Olainka is the head of farm business unit at the organization. We have, and like he has said, you can reach out to him anytime you want to or just learn what you want. Um, the big announcements that I said that I will be announcing later today is nothing other than our business summit that will be coming up in the month of October. We have a business summit coming up in the month of October. Now, why should you be concerned about this summit? It is quite simple because the theme of the summit is unlocking the potentials in agriculture by leveraging the youth engagement. And what we plan to do with this summit is to educate the audience and help the general audience, especially those that are interested and would like to go into agriculture, help them leverage the different value chain in agriculture and how they can make profits from it. That is basically what the summit is going to be about. We're going to be having experts, speakers that are experts in the fields from different. We have speakers talking on cashew, speakers talking on plantain, and so on and so forth. And you get to see how much wealth is in the agricultural sector and how the general audience can take advantage of this opportunity, leverage on the information that is given, work together with us, and we'll work together with you, and you will help you leverage this wealth that is, it will help you take advantage and leverage this opportunity and make wealth for yourself in agriculture. That is the big idea behind the summit, and um, that is what we hope to give to the general audience on our summit that is coming up in the month of October, just less than a month. No, it's just a month and few days, and then it's our summit. I hope I can share my screen right now. I would be showing you. I'll share my screen for a little bit. I'm sorry, Mr. Adedeji. I'm going to hijack your screen for a second. Yes, this is my screen, and this is one of the flyers that will be going out, unlocking the potentials in agriculture by leveraging the youth engagement. You want to be part of this summit because there's just so much wealth of knowledge that will be shared on this day, and that is the big announcement that I was talking about earlier on the call. So back to the other of back to the other of the meet of the webinar and how the webinar is going to go. I'm going to introduce the MD, CEO, and founder of our organization. His name is Mr. Adeniyi Shoremi. This our MD has been into the agricultural sector for more than 5-7 years now. He has done so many projects. We have undertaken so many projects, and we currently have so many people on board our investment, on board our farm land investments with the organization, and we just have a wealth of results and evidence to show for how good we are and how solid our investment plan is. You can even in your own spare time go to Google, type out his name on Google, just search his name, Adeniyi Shoremi. He's going to bring it out his information. You're going to see that he's legit. He has. You don't go to Google and type anybody's name and it brings all their profile if this person is not a solid and tested person in the industry. And all these accolades, I'm going to have to allow him come on the call and tell you more about this. And he's also the person that is going to be handling the webinar, teaching us about the security in farm security measures and implementation, how to go about implementing them, and what comes with it. So welcome on the call. Good afternoon, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Solomon. I really appreciate that. I would like to share a screen shortly. So whoever is sharing should kindly unshare so I can be able to share my screen. You see, there's something about learning, right? I've always been very audiovisual in person. It's just sometimes there's not enough time to put the audiovisual in place. So I'll be trying to share a screen which would help make something sync. I've made the training in such a way that it's very simple, easy to grab compared to other trainings, and I'll explain why shortly. In our previous meeting, of course, this topic was that we can take between now and December. And these are topics that we've itemized early on in the year to help people grow in agriculture. Well, one thing is, as I say, it doesn't matter who you do agricultural business with. What matters is you do it right. And management is important, market is important, processes are important. Many things are quite important. So you don't want to jump all of them. And so we have all these things itemized in a, how will I call it, in a topical approach that will ensure the biggest form of results. And so because of that, we have all of these things done properly, and we want to go through it. But in the last webinar, we had a case where some few clients, I think about two, if I can remember vividly, actually decided they wanted us to go into security, right? Which is very, very key, and we don't joke with that for any reason. We don't joke with that. That is very important to us as much as possible, and that's why we're having this stuff about security right now, because let's just say that there's no moving around it. We are here to talk about it. We'll discuss about it. If you have any question before even the questions start moving, right? Before we even start diving deep into it, kindly ask your questions. I really mean it. Kindly ask your questions. It is very, very important. You have any question, write it down first. Before I even start talking about the ones that are along the line, you're like, I want to ask about this one. So it's possible when I'm speaking that you're like, oh, there's a new one you want to add to that question. It's possible that even some of the things you want to ask, I have already answered it. And this is typically possible, right? So to ensure that is done, as I asked you to write it all out in the first place. So, but going into it now, as I said, I've itemized what we're discussing in a very simple way that even after now, you can still grab it. Once you have this document, this little short material, very, very brief material, you can, or how will I call it, you can be able to understand everything that was stated in this call. So let's move into it now. I'm sharing my screen at the moment. You should be seeing any moment from now. If you see it, you can leave me an in-call messages that you can see my screen. An in-call message will be good. Can you see my screen? Let me know once you can see my screen. Can anybody see my screen? Nobody's saying anything just yet.
Yes, yes, I can, sir.
All right,
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, as I said, I've itemized them in a way that makes them easy.
Yes, we are seeing it.
Thank you so much. I like the feedback processes. They help me process very well. So, of course, I've put them in four phases. That's your farm security measures and implementation, right? These are very important, and you get to understand. Now, some of you may have taken some steps without doing what I want to explain that you should have done or should do. The question is, it does not end, right? The last slide would explain why it does not end. The major factor that will determine if you've taken a wrong step and it's not reversible, or if the step is not good enough, is the last step, which I believe that a lot of people can still find solution around it. So what are the four nuggets about farm security? Now, the first nugget you want to consider is the location, right? It's the first thing you want to consider, the location, right? You can say things like, well, the location of a farm is the first leg forward in the safeguarding of any farm. What are the historical data about security in such environments? How has the environment handled business-threatening challenges in the past? Your answer here will account for 50% of your decision whether to own a farm there. Now, that is the truth, right? You want to go to a place that, okay, it's not saying they don't have issues, right? They may have issues. That is the truth. They may have issues in the past, business-threatening issues. The question you want to ask is, how did they handle it? What did they do? How did they? What are the steps, measures that they put in place? This is very, very key, right? You want to understand what this is, because if you don't understand what it is, all of a sudden you are, let's say, distracted because your business model, your steps forward are not accurate anymore. And to show that that is not the case here, you want to make sure that you understand that historical data. Now, of course, it's a place that they don't have business-threatening challenges, security challenges there. Beautiful. It means you've hit a jackpot. Buy the land is very important. Buy the land and then start your farm there. Because although this is not the only thing, I say it accounts for 50% of your decision. It means that you have other factors that must equally account for that decisions in your system. Now, the way I've arranged this whole nuggets is in chronological order, like from the most important to least important, right? So, everything is boils down to the location majorly, right? So if that place has business right now, no problem. As I said, find out how they solved it. Now, on that place as well, what are the measures that are within that location to solve issues? Right? Sometimes in every location, is someone speaking? Can someone kindly mute the person? Yes, so after we don't waste session on a time loop. So basically, the location, of course, may have issues. Maybe in the past they didn't handle it very well. The question is, if you not even happened, I don't handle it very well. You now need to go and meet the community, right? The community is very key. So what are the community, or how receptive are the community? And that takes me to my second point. The second point there is the people, right? The people. Who are the people in that vicinity? Who are the community? Now, the location, you've gotten the location, okay? Let's say the location is, it has business threatening challenges in the past and they've been able to handle it very well. Beautiful. That means that is nice. It means that on the indices of over 50%, like over 50, so you are able to do it. So let me give them 35 over 50 or 30 over 50 that they handled it very well. Oh, you never had any, right? If that doesn't mean you should give 50-50. That means you could give it 40 over 50, because if they don't have any, does not mean in the future it won't happen. And if it happens, it's possible that they may not even have a good way to handle it, right? Or probably it could also be that you've not even meet the right people to do your research from. So all of those things are things that are there. So, but if you find out that they've had that challenge in the past, but then the way they handle it is not the way you think they should have handled it, or it's not people, the community, right? Who are the community? Who are the people? Who is the leader of that people? Right? You want to approach them. In this place, I say the people that serve as both your neighbor and community is the second most important factor. They are perhaps the second biggest factor you should account for before external farm investments. The agriculture as a business that must be kept from in that location. It may be the second important factor, but if I get to the point in this place where I notice that there are people that steal, like they are chronic thefts, they are chronic robbers of agricultural produce, and they can do it irrespective of any measures, I'm not having a fan there anymore. Forget that is the second most important factor. I'm not having it there anymore. All of a sudden, it overrides everything. Because there are some. But if it's taken out of context and considered as individual, then it's a factor I don't trifle with. And I'll tell you why that is. We had an experience. Well, I don't want to really take it very kind. So, but let me give just one experience here. We had a farm. Southwest is our haven of farm. We've had a few projects in the north, but Southwest is our haven of operation. So we had that farming region in Ogun State, and we had cucumber farms, right, and melon farms. So initially we didn't want to plant melon because we thought we had to plant eventually. So first we plant cucumber, and then before you know, people were going there and picking our cucumber. We planted maize first. Sorry, I don't know how the function is fuzzy. We planted maize first. Then people started going there to harvest our maize before us. Then we felt like, no, let's not plant maize anymore. You know, maize is about 2 to 4 months. Exactly. It was the theft for us. The theft was never ending. Theft was not as high as it is right now, because that was about 5 years ago. My place was not as high as it is right now. Of course, I acknowledge kings and rulers and Baale and all the community, the guest thing that is at the foremost front of our farm. Like after 5 to 10 minutes walk out of our farm, you see a guest like that. A guest in Aton. The place actually is a Dole Lane. That's the part in Aton that the farm is. And when we buy a lot of beers for them, but at some point, I also like, because after using all the money for farm to buy beers, what will remain for net revenue? Because all those beers you're buying are all part of cost of production. At some point, those goods stopped. But even when I was buying for them, they were still in our midst, one of the guest house, and it was in their own village here. If people are hungry, they don't naturally stop them from touching things. They only tell them to take little. Remember, I was like, little from someone's investments, someone's business. Well, the land was 6 acres. It was a partnership farm system. You buy farm under us. We largely are covering half of the cost, and you understand that if you eventually come into business with us, it's just that we tell you that okay, it's 800,000. Yeah. Company, they counted their loss and moved forward on that project. But at that point, it was the people. And the leadership in that place does not have strong indices to protect the farms that are there. So you want to find out this very well in your farm security, else you're going to be in trouble. What about terrorism? Well, I've not actually personally been exposed to terrorist farms before, or the farms where people are kidnapped. I've not been exposed to it. Of course, maybe because that's the period where it's safe. But even now, or maybe because we are always very, very we question a lot. We do a lot of questioning for buying any land. Maybe that's why we've not really experienced that whole kidnapping stuff. And two, we always are ingrained in the people. We pay a lot there. One, we buy gifts. That's it. Then I wasn't good with diplomacy, but now I'm good with diplomacy. I buy several gifts. I will buy for the king. I will buy for the chiefs. I will buy for everyone that is around my place. Everyone that has them, I would employ several members of their farm at different points. If I don't think they are worthwhile to be used as permanent labor, I use them as intermittent labor several times, not because they are good. They could even be costlier than many people from outside, but I use them just to ingrain myself into them and show that I'm part of your community. I'm a means that money comes to this community. So protect me. I'm worth protecting, right? So maybe because of all those indices, I've not really experienced kidnapping and the rest, right? A lot of people are there. And I'll give you an instances. We're building a snail orch, one of our farm recently. When I'm saying like early last month, and the jobless adults in the community came to us and were like, they want to collect foundation fee. Foundation is Yoruba is quite complicated people, right? They have a lot of money they collect when you're building things, and I understand that that's not a big deal for me. It's normal, right? I've experienced it several times. But now I'm building snail orchards. I don't collect foundation fee from me. I looked at it and I was like, I don't have a money for you. It was like, I said it's not normal. I said, because I'm a Yoruba boy and I've been in the Southwest for long enough. I have farms across different states in Southwest. I've managed farm in several states in Southwest. There's literally no state in Southwest that I have not had to deal with farm directly or indirectly in. So I know that this thing is always based on building houses, not things like snail orchards. Even if it's a poultry, it's understandable because poultry is a big project. Snail orchards, I'm not giving you. And they go angry. I said, stop the work. Because the people that are working on that from that day were members of that community. I said, stop the work. I'm not even building anymore. Everybody stop. And they didn't stop. And I was like, they are not stopping. You want to stop them yourself. Because I'm not more building. And before you know, they're like, they can't stop us. They can't stop us. At the bottom of it, every money you bring is still the community zone. We will take this to the ballet. I would not even give a ooze about what they are saying. Because I know you're taking it to the ballet. It's not a game they can win. And later I was going and I met the chief herbalist of the, because let's say your farming extension will show you plenty of people. I saw the chief herbalist of the village and I was like, some people will get my farm early on to come and ask for money for foundation for snail. And I was like, are you kidding? I said, yes. He said, what did I tell them? I said, I don't have it. He said, that's the best answer. I said, but he said they'll go and meet the ballet. He said he will be waiting for them at the ballet's place. So what kind of nonsense is that? And that was it. But it is because I've ingrained myself in the community and my securities are short. That doesn't mean that I lost any snail in that place. I have not lost any snail there. Based on anybody. I've not lost any snail. Instead, I was on die out of mortality. I've not lost them. I've not lost those snails there. And that is what the people they account for. Now, after the people, now you look at the third factor, the products. What is the product you want to do there? It's very important. What product are you cultivating there? Right? So, if it's a livestock, there's a different approach. If it's a cash crop, there's a different approach. Livestock, typically, you want to fence your land. It's a given. You want to fence your land. If you don't do that in the first year, you have to have a plan in the second or third year to fence your land. It's a given. You can't, and you don't need to fence. If you have 100 acres, they don't fence 100 acres. You can fence the 1 acre that you're planting on. You can fence the 2 acres you have your livestock on. You don't have to fence the whole land. Even though you don't have the 100 acres, use beacon to demarcate your land, but fence the 1 or 2 acres you have there. It's just wisdom because it will save you from unnecessary talk. And even though you can't fence it in the first 2-3 years, please get a lot of physical presence there. You have to catch up. You have to make up for it somehow. Get physical presence. Let people go into that. Let people going there at different points to ensure that the eyes are not far from that place. And that is how you safeguard the place. I say the products you intend going into also should account for about 10-15% score in your overall assessment of the farm security measure you put in place. Whether it is livestock or cash crop, you need to understand the uniqueness of your products as you decide if the location and community of where you have your land located is favorable to your business plan. Livestock actually require different approach. I explain that. Now, once you understand this in the nitty-gritty, you understand. For example, now we have snail, right? So we use we have where that constructs what we call like a locker for our snail orchards, right? We have that. Of course, we're installing that across our farm in the coming months. We have the prototype in construction right now. We're building it across that place. That's what we didn't have to fence our land. We only put that there because everyone's going to want to break it. We have to destroy the place, and destroying that place is trespassing. Trespassing is going to the king and having them come out. The company have no option but to root them out because in the long run of that conversation is going to affect the community and external investment. And if you know anything about Yoruba, is that they don't want it to affect money coming to their town or their villages or their hamlets or whatever it is their place looks like. Yoruba like having money coming. This is Yoruba will never have issue selling their land to any tribe. They will sell it to anybody that has money. You have cash, come and buy. Just make sure that when you're buying, you stick to it so that they don't play pranks on you. But that is just how it works. So that is what we do. Now that was livestock. If it's some product livestock like poultry or like piggery might also need that initially, but poultry may need fencing, right? And so you don't account for all of these things. Why crop? This some crop could be open. For example, we have over 250 acres of land across Osun and Ogun State. Now we are not fencing that yet. We plan to fence it eventually when our cashew becomes very, very how I call it, very, very big. We want to fence it, but at the moment we can't fence it. So we have a lot of high. Have over 10 staff and counting on the field alone, not in the office. In the office, because the document itself is over almost 30 team companies. So it's that serious for us. I will make a lot of plans for it. Now, the fourth point, particularly, is the costs. Now, it doesn't require a lot of talk on the cost aspect. It's simple. So the cost typically, you can see what I put here is very simple, a very, very descriptive part. Any security measure that costs too much in a way that affects your projected revenue over a span of 2 to 5 years recurrently is not worth it. In an agricultural sector, it's not worth it. Such costs should be avoided at all costs. So if after you're done, you've looked at the location, you look at the people, the products, and now you bring your costs together. And then you now calculate how much security measure would cost you. And you realize that it affects so much of it. Does not like you don't see yourself making revenue in 5 years because security measures. Please, if you have a land there, keep that land safe and go and buy a new land. Right? Go and buy a new land. That place may still mature over time. The security challenge them may die down over time, but you have to give it time because everything that is worthwhile takes time, right? And then you gotta buy a new land that you can start action indifferently. But if that place the cost is not so much, right? It's not that there's cost there, but it's not so bad because there's cost everywhere. But if it's not so bad, it's something that is negligible, not so impacting. Within 2 years, your security measures would have your revenue break-even point would have covered your security measures. Beautiful. But 2 to 5 years, and its security measure is the chief thing that is costing you more and not giving you room. Then you want to anchor you from that place. I had a farm in Ikorodu, and this is another experience. Okay, I have to share some of them. Now, I had a farm in Ikorodu. After we're done with that farm, so we're like in the process of restarting a new one, and they went to the place into our store, and they broke it open, and they stole all our equipment, including our newly purchased generator that is just 2 months old. They took away our pumping machine from the borehole. And that was the last time I set foot in that farm. And that was just it for me. It was not worth it anymore. It was not worth it. It was not worth it. I'm not going to have normal annual workers there and also go and collect a permanent security on that land again. It's not worth it for me. And I abandoned it. In the future, I'll go back to it. And that is my own perspective. There's no sugar coating, robbing and managing. No, there's none of that for me. It is straight to the point, and it's straight to the point. I'm not in agricultural business to come and die there. I'm there to make revenue. I'm there to make profits. And to make profit, I need to be pragmatic about what the situations I'm experiencing are about. And that's what also happened at Ton as well. It was that same cost that made me look at the partner there and call them, come. We need to ensure that things are done as practical as possible. It's very, very important. And that is it basically. And that's what took me from Akon as well. And I can keep mentioning different places where I've experienced different things. But the cost has to justify the means. You see, in farming, at some point you need CCTV, right? Of course, we install CCTV for farms as well, but at some point in CCTV, even if the human factor is costly already, you imagine what CCTV will cost you. Those that say TV, right, and it takes 3 years to break even, it's understandable because the long run effect is going to justify the means. But we haven't seen TV itself gone. We've not even considered CCTV as a cost measure. You're already having so much cost that you can't break even in 5 years. That's not justifiable. That's just blatantly wrong. And for you know, you're having issues. So how do you ensure security works for you? It is making sure that you don't have too much cost to spend on the human factor, and then you can easily put additional level. So fencing is good, but not all farms require fencing, or not all farms can handle the cost of fencing. Now, the second part is you want to have human factor. I've explained all about that already. How do you have human factor? Things like in your language, you have them as olode, right? You want to consider that factor. Two, you want to have people working your farm, not because you like them, but so they can serve as a pair of eyes for you. You want to employ one or two people from the community where you're farming, and as a strategic move to keep them in place. Now, also after that, you want to think about CCTV as well. You want to put it in place. There are two types of CCTV. It could be the remote one. It could be the cloud backed CCTV. Now, whichever cloud back is more costly, right? And the ones that have to do with IoT devices also are costly. So you don't know which of CCTV you want to use. You want to use for your farm, and where you want to get data from. You want to get it from wherever you are in Nigeria, or you want to have a room where you can easily go there around the farm that can check the historic data of the CCTV. And these are all the security measures that can put in place for your farm. Now, there are a lot of parts that I might have omitted, but I make sure that it's not about the long talk. It's about the specific examples that you need to know, to understand how you go about security. The last line I put here that I could have actually think on right now is the market, right? Now, how far is the market? What are the ease of getting to the market? Is another security measure you must always account for. Very clearly, it's very, very key that you have that in place. But outside all of that, if you have all these measures and you've completed them very well, and you see that your profits line is sure, then you are good for business. And that is the summary of this whole talk on farm security. If there are questions, kindly share them as I can answer them. If they are not, of course, we can move forward. We're having a summit coming up. Let's endeavor to be part of that summit. It's taking off from the 8th of October to the 6th of October to the 8th of October, and it's promised to be very powerful. So outside the summit as well, we've got international speakers coming on board, both local and international speakers that are known for this particular product. Cashew, mini livestock like snail and bee farm, planting, smart farming, youth for engagement in farming. All of these people are who are going to be present. Different speakers at the top of their career will present to talk about all of these things part time to help everyone get the best out of this. And that is what we have doing. You want to be part of it. You want to make sure that there's a way you can register for this event when you have the link, particularly. Outside all of this as well, are you looking into going to farm? Try and communicate. Don't farm in isolation. Don't farm first, get market second. It doesn't work. You can say, in one of the examples I gave earlier, as regarding the wild melon, I said that when we did the wild melon, after harvest, there was no place close by for us to go and shell the melon. The only option was Abeokuta, right? Somewhere after Abeokuta safe gone, and then you come back. All right, as I was saying, so you typically would want to think about other indices. It's not just a demand, that there's a market demand, right? Of course, we established that there was a market demand there. We know the market we're going to. We did our evaluation at Ajegule market, we did our evaluation at Ilepo market, we did our evaluation at Mile 12 market, we did our evaluation at Oyipo market. We knew all we need to take this product to that would be willing to buy it from us. But they all had a condition. It has to be shelled. They were willing to buy shelled wild melon, shelled egusi. They didn't want not shelled egusi. And that's what they wanted. We felt like, okay, we're going to get that done. So we commonized the fact that where are we going to go and shell it? Because we're not going to shell it ourselves. Where are we going to go and shell it? And then we missed that information. At that minute, we had two options. Buy the shelling device or go and shell it after Abeokuta. Both of them were not considered for us because one, we didn't have a lot of money flying around. One, two, we can't go there. It's also going to be logistics. It's going to be a loss. It's just better we sell it as once that is there and at whatever price we can sell it. And we took that option and we sold it that way. But now that is not just marketing indices, that is other indices. So you don't want to farm in isolation. There's a lot of things that you need that is in the next door that you need to take. And except you take that option serious, you're definitely not going to be able to have the answers you desire about your farm. So all of these things are what we have made available. It at the end depends on you. I want Mr. Adeniyi and Mr. Lanka to share and Solomon to share the information they've shared earlier again, so that those that were not able to see it earlier will see those information. You want to anything about farm business, you need consultation, you need any evaluation. Of course, you can reach out to the right person that is in charge of that place. Now, if you don't want to get involved, you're looking for a channel to use and get involved. Of course, you can also use the messages in call messages. The person specifically in those places will get across to you. With that said, that is a summary from my quarters. Any question right now will be entertained and we can answer them adequately. Over to you, Mr. Solomon or ADBC Grace. I don't know, but we should anchor the next phase.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that wonderful delivery. It's short, and that's the purpose of this webinar because we are not here to take much of your time, but we're here to pass value. And I believe Mr. Adeniyi has passed that on to everyone here. And farm security, like I said, it's not something to joke with because in as much as have a very bright product or a very good product that is fit for a very good market, you have to be careful of where you want to farm that particular product, you understand, because it might just affect your whole business as a whole, you understand. So you cannot joke with farm security, especially now where we have a lot of crisis going on around. And it's important that you pay attention to this. And we especially we at Dofma, we have been in this whole business of buying lands not today, not yesterday, and believe that those who are actively involved in that department of the company have a lot of story to say. Of course, Mr. Adeniyi himself and those who are actively involved in that department in the company have a lot of story to talk about. Where there's one time where we were asked to, like I said, to drink crates of beer, to buy various chickens just to bring to them before we can have access to the land. So those kind of things are things that you need to pay attention to when going to buy land. You might have the money, but then again you have to conduct research. Research is very important. And of course, everyone here, I believe you've gotten a thing or two. I would like to encourage to take from Mr. Denny that if we can have access to the document that was shared, so we can share to those who be having interest in going through those nuggets, because as short as they may be, they are very powerful. You can just go over them when you're looking to get your land, and you could also consult with us, consult with the farm business department of the company. And also if you're looking to own a farm with us, but you don't want to go through various threads that are involved in getting a farm land, we are available for you, particularly here in the southwest. Like you say, the MD of Dofman said, we are quite experienced in this. So right now I'll welcoming Mr. Lainka to talk about our farm business
So I have
services.
a question for Mr. Adeniyi.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Ahmed. Do you, sir?
Yes.
Go on, sir.
During the course of the presentation, we were told that they stole their farm products. I want to ask, that time, do they engage the service of the watchman like hunters? But if that's what was the causes when they engage, if they really engage the service of the watchmen and the hunters, why are they stealing? What the causes? I want them to answer that.
All right, thank you so much.
Right.
Yeah, I did. So basically, that was 2020. the coronavirus here. Could you mute a bit? I think the whisper is listening underneath your call. All right, so
I can't hear you very well.
I said kindly mute the guys listening beneath your volume. Yes, thank you. So they that was 2020 when they stole our farm product. That's the generator and then the water pumping machine. Yes, we actually the whole community there is a farming community in Ikorodu. And then they actually, well, I don't even know. There are two I mentioned. There's Ikorodu, there's Atom. But let me talk about the both of them nonetheless. So at Ikorodu, there's the whole farm come together to contribute money for the all of their system. That's the farm watchmen, right? They contribute money to them, and then they monitor the place. But after stealing or the product theft happened on the Ikorodu farm, we lodged official complaints to the those that are supposed to be protecting the environment. And after we lodged it to them, they were like, oh, they just went there. They just finished their shifts that morning and then they went to rest from their shifts in the morning, and that the next shift is going to happen in their evening. So during the day, typically they usually experience theft. It is during evening, right, when the hours are dark or getting dark. That's when this theft usually happens. So they protected it until they have to go and take a rest. And I wasn't happy with that information, because that is a people's problem, right? If we are all contributing, however little or big it may be, the idea is it is not from one person. It's a farming community. Ikorodu has a lot of farming. As after Agbowa, almost going to Ekpe. So that is a lot of farming activities going there. That you guys, not enough that you guys took a break, and as that's an excuse. Combined, what of what was stolen was almost 400,000, right? And that was not good enough. That is not okay. So before you know that, and it's not where farmhouse there, but the distance of the farmhouse to the farm is around 20 minutes. We can't explanation. I don't trust that it will happen anymore. I abandoned the farm, right? And I went somewhere else, right? And that's one thing about me. I count my loss very fast. I don't allow it affect me, right? No matter, this is the only land I have, I'll buy a new one. It may take a while, but I'll buy a new one. I'm not going to get myself into that mix and allow that place to destroy me. That doesn't mean the land is wasted. Of course, there's real estate, right? I can always sell it to the highest bidder. It doesn't mean the land, it's just that I would have to reap my benefit from a different arm of operations as opposed to the farm. And it doesn't mean that place is not still be good. As more people go there, as that place become more diverse, you will notice that that place is going to have a different shift to security. And that is the plan. But that's what happened. As regarding the Atom own, right? I said that when I complained to them, they told me that they are not against people going to the farm and picking one or two produce. That is only that they just don't want it. They don't want it to be detrimental. They pick a little and they leave. Now, whoever would tell you that in their community they allow people to go and pick produce, little produce, what kind of what are you joking with people's life? That's wrong, right? And in Yoruba land, you don't shout on adults. You don't fight with adults. One, even not for even diabolical means, for out of respect's sake, right? You don't raise your voice at adults. Whatever you don't like, well, you find a very smart way to attend to it. That's how diplomacy work. And so I couldn't shout on them. Well, it's not what I like. So I changed the model to cucumber. The cucumber as well. I think that cucumber was just out of spite. Actually, I think they were just spiting us, because how can you eat out of the cucumber and drop the rest, and then you eat little bites, like 4 or 5. This thing is just wrong. There's nothing smart about it. Now that I'm even talking about it, there was a farm we had at Ogumosho as well, at Kirialakia in Ogumosho as well. We planted castor. The livestock, the Fulani's livestock that was close by, he has a house, is a major member of the community. His animals came and were touching our farm. They didn't know castor was poisonous, so they were doing their own wonders. Before you know, the animals were convulsing, and bringing out foam from their mouths. Before you know, the children started cutting in half our products. We went down, we attacked the man, right? Not like, I said, see, this is the proof and all of this. And since then, that's all had to stop. So these things are things you experience, and that is how we've handled it up until this moment. There are a lot of experiences. If I start picking, we definitely will not leave it, but I believe you got the mind as regarding your question. I hope that was clear. Mr. Amidu Yusuf. Oh, you're muted. Kindly unmute and speak. You're muted, so we didn't get to hear what you're saying. You need to open your mic. We are still not
Thanks.
hearing.
I can get it. Yeah, thanks so
Oh,
much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So what to do? In case anybody have any question, they can also. I'm sorry, is Digit there? Who's supposed to handle this Q&A going forward? Let's make people's time are very
Yes,
precious.
sir. So I had to make sure Mr. Amidu Yusuf is muted before I can start talking. Um, all right. It's a wonderful section, and the question that Mr. Amidu Yusuf just asked is a valid question, which you have also got to hear a thing or two about our experience also from our other farms that are different, Bumasho and Ikorodu here in Lagos. All these things are very vital. You won't know about these things until you venture into it, until you go into this, farmland business of a thing. And it's quite important that whenever you want to decide to buy your land in acres, you have to consult with the right set of individual or companies. And we are that people you can meet. We are that company that you can reach out to anytime, and we get to set you straight. And when it comes to buying of farmlands for your farm investment, so of course, if you check the income message, we have dropped some message there. We have documents that are very enlightening and very educative, and there are brochures and they educate you more about cashew offering, plantain offering, snail business, bee business as well, farmland banking. These are ways you could actually generate, um, reliable and sustainable income from agriculture. You understand? Because they are, they have a long a long, they're for long a period of time. They are not like the annual produce that or products that out there. It's easy for you